Hi guys, this is Pat. I am back with another charm for a swap on Life on the Scrap Beach. This one hosted by Trudy Hutton also. And this was a masculine charm. So, and a lot of labor went into this charm. And I started off in one direction and it kind of took a turn as these things sometimes do. But, so this was a make 4, send in 3. And this is my charm. It's on a chain, and so I want to talk first about this technique that I used on the tag. I'll bring it a little bit closer. So what this is it's a tag. It's a technique that I found in the Compendium of Curiosities, Book 2, and those books are just full of all kinds of techniques, and I've probably done a couple of them out of each book and really should do more because it is a lot of fun. But this one was where you take the metal that has a sticky side to it and you cut that in various shapes and you put it on to a tag. And then you use a variety of things to, I'm not sure how good it's going to show up on the videotape, but it's embossed with stitches and dots and rivets and just, whatever tools I could find to make it look like it was part of like an industrial building, because industrial was the direction I was going in as I started with this tag. So anyway, and then you put alcohol ink on it, and this one called for, it was a combination of pitch black and ginger, I think. I might have had something else in there too. But, after that dries, then you go over it with some steel wool. And that takes a light touch, as I found out when, the first time I did it, I just about took all the alcohol ink off of it. So anyway, I finally got that technique down, because that's where I was going. It was going to be a masculine charm, completely, totally industrial. And then I started experimenting with the beads and the things that I was going to add to it. And you'll see here I'm using one of the Tim Holtz faucets to hold my charm on. And actually, instead of a swivel clasp, I actually have a key ring. Although, this wouldn't hold up for daily use. I'm sure that these things would tend to come off. And then it was a matter of, what am I going to make my beads out of? And I knew that I wanted to use bolts. So I went to the hardware store and I got a variety of bolts, which I alcohol inked with the black ink. I might have used a little ginger here and there. And then I bought some wooden beads, and I painted the wooden beads with using the paint daubers, which you can paint directly on wood because, or any, you don't need primer to paint with the paint daubers. So I had some of the silver and the black, and then I had some wood beads, some kind of leather-like beads, some stones, and various things. But what I used for this red color is kind of what I wanted to talk about, because I was trying out the new Plain Jane baseboard, semi-opaque, and I like to let's shake this up a little bit, but I like to paint with my glimmer mist, and I paint flowers and all kinds of things, a lot of times with just a paintbrush. And so, you squirt this onto your craft mat and take a little brush and, do whatever you want with it. But so I used some of the red rocks and also the clay. And both of them are kind of like a brown-red red color, which was kind of what I wanted for this charm. So that's what I used to paint some of these wooden charms. Then, when I was at the bead store, I already had some silver bead caps and things, but I found kind of a collection of just discs and rings and various things that I could use. And it kind of took on what I would call sort of an industrial chic kind of a look, which maybe wasn't as masculine as I started out, but you know, it could be like a Johnny Depp look because he's always very preppy, so it's still masculine, maybe metrosexual or something. But anyway, so that was kind of, and then, you know, various beads that I had, cones, as you can see here is another bolt and then a ring and then some rings here. And I was fascinated. I had never really done this before with these rings that are sliding over smaller beads that are underneath them. And I ended up this kind of being, as far as experimenting, one of my favorite charms that I've done. And then you would think, of course, of, you know, something like this with sewing, but I looked at it from the industrial point of view, and it reminded me of those the things that they have coils of, you know, huge wire, or I don't know what you would call those things. It kind of reminded me of that, so I roughed it up a little bit, and then I used some of the Tim Holtz tissue tape that had a lot of kind of clockworks and industrial type things on it, and I don't remember what that one is called, but and of course I had this fantastic rock hit that I had in my stash for quite a while, and it was perfect with this. And then I'm always now doing on my tags some way of hanging them so that they can be displayed, or you know, or hanging them or propping them up or whatever, because that's what I do when I get charms from someone. I just like to display them, so I'm always trying to come up with something to do that. And then on the back, this is some paper with some gears and clockworks in it from one of the Tim Holtz collections. And what I did was I took a bolt and a nut and a bolt and put a washer on here, and actually my card just slips under there. I just have to get my cards out and do that, but I did try it and it does work. Then I've got my little stamp there. I also wanted to show you how I attached this chain, because I actually attached it with some nuts and bolts. So that's how it's attached. And you can see there the screw on the back. And then, of course, the faucet, which I distressed. And these are so much fun to work with. I've got another set that I did distress. I was going to use for this, and it just came out so rusty and grungy looking. And I set it aside for another project. I really like how it turned out, but I wanted something more with the white and the black and the that kind of red rock color for this. So this is my masculine tag for Trudy's swap. It was a lot of fun to make. I hope whoever gets these and likes them as much as I liked them. But really, it was just some new techniques that I want to play around with more. I love doing these rings, and then I had some old things that were part of, I bought from Michael's, where they have the industrial chic collection, and so there's just some things like that, and then some other things that it just made it a lot of fun to play with, and it's given me all kinds of ideas for things that I would like to do in the future. And then, you know, I had these cones that just kind of had an industrial look to them, so anyway, it was just a lot of fun to make this charm. So that is my masculine charm for Trudy Swap. Everybody, thanks so much for watching. Love to hear your comments, or read your comments, I guess. And see you soon with another project. Thanks so much.